Ananta samsara samudra, seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And the verse translates, salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which is the endless ocean of life, which endows me with the sense of us have been feeling stuck in the same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of suffering that surrounds us during this pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed by natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole are in dire need of hope. At this time, the supreme concept of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken the spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Mother in guiding and healing the whole world, as literally the boast that Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering each and every one of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi is not just affected to us individually, but also as a humanity, as of humanity, in the form of revelations on sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues which have not yet surfaced to common knowledge. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which has manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until this storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. So now let us enter into the segment and understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed. Let us look at what Devi has, the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19.
Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட கைலாச சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் இடத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் தர்மார்த்த காம புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட இங்கு தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் ஒன்று. சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாய் வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3. நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4. நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5. சிவ எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வரும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7. ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த 8. கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீம் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்.
Let us look at the translation of the Parashakti revelation. Oh humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social issues, and meditating on me every day. Doing the Ajapa Ajapa of the cosmic sound, Shiva, 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep. Being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, as aham, aham, in the state of anandam. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have the effects of corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will live good life. Even if you do one of these 8 ways, I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. So now let us look at each of these methods, this revelation made to protect humanity. The first method that Devi is praying and meditating on Devi Parashakti. And science has controlling anxiety, promoting emotional health, enhancing self-awareness, lengthening the attention span, and it may also reduce age-related memory loss. And a study published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services found that meditation has a direct impact on our physical as well as our mental health. And another study by Cambridge University Press, research of meditation during times of crisis such as COVID-19. By providing social support, by lifting the spirits, by helping you cope with difficulties, and a September 2015 report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive heart for 5 years, they found that those who reported, and people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illness who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious experiences, generally become more optimistic than their peers. This was found in a study published in July 2015, Depression and Anxiety. So now let us listen to what this as a video explaining how the avatar has demonstrated the power of meditation on our brain.
Scientific researches to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President, COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state
willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process. He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that. Because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. And we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is where you have reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here, right in the middle, probably 1.5 to 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was Swami was inside, and that's last part of that Swami showed. But this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. Basically evokes pleasure chemical. If you eat, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is the dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could at will go in and out of the states. Those are some of the facts I want to share with you. There's so much more talk about physiology of mind in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, the medical world, curing diseases from migraine, conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system, can be found in the book Scientific Data.
And now let us understand what the Supreme Concept has revealed as the power of puja, how puja is an what that is.
Is the best thing in your life, you are abused. Your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit minutes and melt down to bust your stress. Prayer is the best down. Prayer to Paramashiva. In yearn Paramashiva, nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, every day is a everyday puja. The kind of the live, I have seen people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long, not just long, happy. Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Everyday puja, relating with the deities, is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of day is when I sit with my deities. Sit with my deities. Talk to them. Intensely pray. Deeply connect, and you do not God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. Living avatar is literally living Archavatara. It's a peace of God, literally.
The next method, surrendering to Devi Parashakti through social media. During the Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends to us individually to our prayers and showers us with blessings and food. Let us now see how we can connect to Devi Parashakti through social media. Kailasa's SH YouTube channel. You just click the join button next to the name. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic link in the comment section of the live video. You can follow that. Once you have asked your question during the live Parashakti Akashic reading of the video. Nithyananda on Twitter. And once you've done that, you can ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. So you can connect with Devi on Instagram. So you can follow Sri Nithyananda. And you can also lastly connect with Devi Parashakti through WhatsApp. You can visit kailasa.org and you will see a WhatsApp chat box that pops up. And you can ask your questions here in the chat. And all of these methods are a simple way for you to connect with Devi Parashakti. All you need to connect with Devi is just your sincere devotion to connect with her. Now let's watch a short clip of Devi Parashakti blessing people.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிர் குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து ஒரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள்.
When you connect with her via as a method to protect yourself from COVID-19. Devi reveals that wherever by doing the fire walking is an alchemy that has revealed. Our rishis and munis have been adept at every field, whether health or keeping the society safe. It's highly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because of that. Fire walking time, the small blisters you get just shoots up the power to protect yourself from any virus or any problem. It's and especially it is done very it will not work on you. It will not affect you. And don't worry, it is a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's fire with the will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire, the 11 feet fire pit. As if you do for one fire walking, you and do this traditional fire walking, you are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional, natural, organic, no bad side effects is the Hindu fire walking. So now let us watch a short video on the science behind fire walking as revealed by the Supreme.
All these transmutation processes and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheek sensitive. They don't become they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for the complete Kundalini experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness, that is the reason we have the process of
short video of the Supreme Concept of Buddhism himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai. We can move to the next video. We can move to the next video. Yes, we can move to the next video. Let us now watch the Supreme Concept of Buddhism himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai.
காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஜோதிமலையிலே அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே நீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்யா தீயே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கரளை கொண்டிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்த தீயே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
Let us now look at some of the science behind the fire walking as according to modern science. In this study that was conducted by the U.S. National Study of Medicine, the National Institute of Health, it was found that those who participated in fire walking had increased levels of happiness and lower levels of fatigue compared to those who did not participate in fire walking. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is to apply turmeric drink neem juice, and meditate on Devi Parashakti every day.
It is not, I'm not talking from air, I'm talking from ground. In Biddi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to pouring. Pouring. Karumari's grace. Us, we know biology, whole biology things. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter neem juice every morning. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, you release that kind of vibes. Take Haritaki. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice. You release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. That neem paste and turmeric powder. Thus, she will be same vibes of Karumari. I sincerely recommend neem paste and taking bath, applying Haritaki powder and taking bath. For women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by all genders. That is different. If you want specific, Haritaki and male body, understand your whole biology things. Working on whole biology change. So, now this is Ajapa Ajapa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology things. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessing.
Now that we've understood the benefits of neem juice as revealed by Buddhism, let us look at what modern science has found in the last few decades. It has been shown to be a potent immunomodulator agent that can modulate the activation of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells, which are various immune cells, and can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. And this was found in this was published in the National Center for Biotechnology Information West on the health. We can move to the next slide, please. In an article published for this purpose. And it was also reported that turmeric and neem are effective against coronavirus, according to AKG and study. And the next method to protect yourself from COVID-19 is with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion to the heels and going to sleep. And this is how you can do it. You can just put the banana peel or onion on the peel, put a sock over it, and you can sleep like that. And this will detox your entire body. And Medical Daily has published the benefits of onion, which it states that onions contain a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onion the recognizable smell, but also they are powerful detoxifying agents. And with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear, onions can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease with daily consumption. And it's very well known in Ayurveda for its medicinal uses, the primary purpose of onion. It's stated that compounds from onion have been reported to have a range of health benefits, which include anti-carcinogenic properties, antiplatelet activity, antithrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects. And the next method to protect yourself from COVID-19 is being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss by the Supreme Consciousness of Wisdom. We can watch this video now on the science of unclutching as revealed by the Supreme Concept of Wisdom.
like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level brand, the brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and everyday events in life. May be measured by such instruments as we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer through own. Our thoughts generate it can be detected by sensitive equipment. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people, about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking or dislike to a certain person. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the same manner. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, a continuous stream. But our mind is not a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubbles also experience a neutral space between two thoughts. This between two God. Since the gap or the neutral can form a shadow. But there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is a shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and ties the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I think that we are unclutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, in the of northern India, the hunt is a shaft that we create two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. It turns upside down and loses its sense of balance on it. Similarly, we connect thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, I will fall and die. Is similar to the fear if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, indeed flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security. our education, our mind, our life, our relationships, or our bank balance, ultimately comes to remove moment we can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be. And in the tallest branch of the tree, there is a golden bird sitting unclutched from everything in bliss, like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tickling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits, one day as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both, and realizes her original Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
Now that you've understood the science of unclutching, you can also spend a few moments in your day experiencing this science. Sit with your head, neck, and spine, and the spirit of unclutching manifests in you, and chant the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is Shiva, Shiva, the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. And a study conducted by the U.S. National Library of Medicine has chanting it up the Ajiba Ajiba to the vagus nerve stimulation treatment for depression and epilepsy. And a study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes that human intentions, words, or thoughts can actually change the very molecular structural formations. Interesting research clearly depicts how when the water is being exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water changes to a very pleasant formation, whereas any negative sound or vibration can disfigure, distort, or disintegrate the water. Example of the structural formation of water when exposed to positive sound vibrations versus negative sound vibrations. We can see that in the next slide. We can go back to the previous slide. Yes, so you can see when it is exposed to positive sound vibrations like passion, words like thank you, wisdom, and negative sound vibrations like heavy metal music or words like I will kill you and you fool, you snowflake like structure. Versus when negative sound vibrations are used, it becomes disintegrated. So you can imagine what happens inside of your body, which is composed of up. So as you partake in these last two methods, the unleft.tv/minutes for peace and be a part of this initiative. And Supreme Concept of Buddhism has revealed that if 10,000 people can do this for just 3 months, we can give such a powerful superconscious breakthrough to the whole of humanity. Because all of us are interconnected. We are not all one. The bliss of you untouched, nothing goes to waste in this cosmos. This is what the Supreme Concept of Buddhism has revealed initiative. So you can sign up your minutes for peace at kailasa.com. Let us look at the last method Devi Parashakti revealed. Being in these states beyond any remembrance or forgetting, the autonomous but blossoms as aham, aham, and the anonymous. So constantly being, each of these methods are individually powerful enough to protect you from and ensure that you are staying safe and meditate upon Devi Parashakti. In this next segment, we will understand some of the ways and methods that we can pray to Devi Parashakti. We can meditate on Devi Parashakti, worship her divine majesty. We'll be entering into the offering segment now, where we will understand some of the various offerings that we can make today.
Nithyananda, and welcome back. Let us now see the various traditional offerings. In the Hindu tradition, the offerings to the divine are made as a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness, and the offerings are a pure expression of the sacred sentiments of love, devotion, and oneness. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And now let us look at a Dhyana Shloka on Devi Parashakti as we remember her beauty and splendor and sacred offerings. So let's look at this verse from the Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyana. Angahimabhushana Vichitravasanam Syat Tungama Kutojvala Manonmani Swarupam. The translation for this verse, it says, moon-like face holding the Veda books on hand, fire in eyes, lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse from the Mulagama, Manonmani Dhyana, describes ध्यायेत् देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां ददानां सव्ये पद्मां वरदमपरे चाभयां च क्षमालां विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मणिं प्रतिदिनं कामार्थदात्रीं शुभाम्. The translation for this verse, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods, and auspicious boons for all actions every day. In addition, the divine element of gold is used in the worship of scriptures. So let us look at this scriptural reference from the Atharva Veda, which describes the significance of this divine element of gold. This verse says, Tredajutam janmanedam hiranyam agnirekam priyatamam babhuva somasyaikyam insitasya parapadata apamekam veda samveta ahutat trividastvaivishe. The translation for this verse, triply born by birth is his gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for you. The gold is a divine and spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears it and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Agamas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihas, Samodal, which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. The horses and cows were dressed in gold. And the Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. The temples are constructed and paved in gold, last forever.